Let's move over to disappointed in Dearborn. And disappointed says, I was named as beneficiary in a will. My parents left myself and my sisters their home equally. We have never gotten along. I'm assuming they mean their sister.
Yeah.
Now one of my sisters, who is the executive of the estate, is selling the home. However, she refuses to speak with me about my share of the proceeds. But the title company confirmed that I am not listed on the settlement statement. Do I have any rights? From Disappointed in Dearborn.
First of all, I just want to make a correction. I think that might be a typo. I
Sure.
hope it is. A person who represents the estate would be an executor.
Okay.
Or a personal representative. They're the person tasked with managing.
Oh, where it says the executive of the estate.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that
Executor
there's
of the estate.
right. It's the executor.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Let's hope it's a typo. But that's the person who's charged with, who takes on the responsibility as being the fiduciary for all parties between the court and the beneficiaries. That individual is somebody who manages the day-to-day operations of the estate in order to close out the estate. So if there's a home that's in the estate, it needs to be sold. And then the proceeds, in the context that we're talking, the proceeds of that home gets dispersed then to the heirs of the estate, okay? The beneficiaries of the estate. So in this question, we have several siblings who don't get along, but one of them is a personal representative or an executive of the estate, okay? And just from that question, I would tell this individual disappointed in Dearborn to be patient. First of all, okay, it's a little bit more involved. When there's a death and there's a disbursement of assets and there's siblings who don't get along, people construe or like misconstrue information and the events that are going or the ongoings with regards to this transaction or the administration of this estate. They tend to misconstrue. They bring their emotions into play, of course, because maybe they don't like the sibling. Okay, so I would caution this individual. Where I'm headed with this is, I would caution this individual before they go crazy and start lashing out at their sibling to first get almost like a neutral third party involved, like a buffer, like an attorney like myself,
Sure.
to pick up the phone, to actually look at the probate documentation, make sure she's listed as a beneficiary properly, and then reach out to the title company or the realtor who's handling the transaction to find out when the closing is. It's very possible the title company just doesn't have all the information just yet.
Sure.
They have no idea. And then to get the settlement statement. The settlement statement is not going to have this lady's name on the settlement statement. See, that's where I think there might be a disconnect. The settlement statement is going to have the estate of her parents as the seller. It's going to say the estate of mom and pa. And then when the money is dispersed at the closing, the personal representative is the one who signs for the paperwork. But then that money goes into the estate, and then there's the disbursement by the personal representative, okay? And all this is monitored and managed ultimately by the court. So this personal representative just can't say, well, I know mom and dad said, I don't know how many people there are in this family, but, mom and dad said, share and share alike, there's 4 of us and we all get our piece of the proceeds. Except I decided, because I'm the personal representative now, that only 3 of us get the money and you don't. Right. It's just, if that happens, they're violating the last wishes of the parents, number one. But more importantly, that's not how the will is to be administered in the probate court. Okay. So you got to kind of separate yourself. I do respect, I see it quite often. The reason why we do, Blair, so much probate, so many probate cases is because most of them do involve, the ones that we get involved with, have real estate issues, right? Because most people, their biggest asset in life is going to be real estate. It's going to be a home or maybe rental properties or whatever it is. But those homes are the biggest asset of most people's estates. So when there's consternation, when there's any type of fighting, whatever it is, if it's real estate, then we get involved, okay? And we work with the heirs to kind of help them through the process, okay, of probate. And there's a lot of emotion, so much emotion, and we respect that, because if mom and dad didn't like so and so, people feel, oh, mom liked you better, dad always liked you best. Well, all those issues come out in a probate action, okay? Especially when there's a lot of money involved, or there's real estate. So I think this person needs to take a step back and have an attorney like ourselves. Call a probate attorney. If you don't have one, go get one, just to make sure. It could take an hour, 2 hours, just to make sure everything's lining up the way that individual believes it should line up. And if it doesn't, get an explanation as to why it's not lining up the right way. Okay. But I would just tell this individual, don't call your sister or your brother yelling and screaming. It's not worth it. There's more to the story at this point.
Right.
Right?
Right. So Disappointed's question was, do I have rights? And the answer to that is, well, call and get an attorney to figure that out.
Right, exactly.
Right.
According to Disappointed, she's supposed to get a portion of the property.
Yeah, so you probably do.
Do.
So don't ask your sister, ask an attorney.
Right. In the end.
Right. And also don't ask the title company. Those poor people don't know.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
just processing paperwork. They're not, they don't know.
Yeah. You've learned that, right?
Yes.
Dealing with title companies, right?
Yes. Yep. The title company can't help you. They just process the documents. That's all. They're so sorry. Well, poor title company.
Right.
Okay.